Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope that you all had a great Christmas, and I'm here to finally announce the winners for the Universal Century versus Alternate Universe contest that wrapped up now a couple weeks ago. I apologize for the delay. We'll get into that in a second. Just want to quickly, before we get into the video, give you guys a heads up that if you want anything from the merch store, which I have, there's a link down in the video description to where I have some merch. At the beginning of next year, beginning of January, I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of the stuff that's on there in order to make way for some new things that I'm working on to put on that website. So just a heads up, if there's anything that you guys want on there, check it out. If there's anything that's like not available in a particular size that you want or something, you can also let me know and I can make that available for you. But let's get into it. So yeah, we're a little bit delayed, and that's just because number one, it was the holiday season, so I didn't want to push the judges too much because of the holidays and everything was going on. Also, one of our guest judges, David, was there representing his country, Singapore, at GBWC, which was recently there held. The finals were in Japan. David was there at GBWC, so he also had that going on. Our other guest judge, the very talented Ryan Lau, also helped out, so I just want to say a big thank you to both Ryan and David. You guys may know David as Choco Falcon. Both of them helped out immensely in the judging for this, so I just want to say a big thank you to both of them as well for their time and support for this contest. So thank you guys so much. And let's get into it. So ultimately we had 96 finished entries, which is awesome. And it was a really tough one. This was a very difficult challenge, I feel like, for a couple of reasons. Number one was because of the time, first and foremost. I only gave you guys 2 months, so I did want that to be something that you all kept in mind when it came to your entries for this contest, that you didn't necessarily have a ton of time. I wanted you to keep it, pretty focused on your kit. And I feel like you'll see that, I think, in the winners here and in the runners-up, as we did have some really, really great runners-up, and we'll talk some more about those in just a second. But as you'll see in like some of the top entries that we got here, you can tell that they definitely kept it like really focused, and that was good. So the time was one of the challenges. The other challenges were just the theme of the contest itself, not necessarily a very easy one. And obviously, as you can tell, like from the rollout of the contest, I had to kind of explain it a couple of times just to make sure that everybody had a good grasp on that. But you'll also see that here in the entries, and that also played a big part in our judging, is how close the entries held to the theme of the contest. Now, just again, as a really, really quick recap, I won't get into it too much, but the theme of the contest was we wanted you guys to take a Gundam or a mobile suit from one universe and make it look like as if that mobile suit were in an alternate universe. So like taking the Barbatos, which is alternate universe, and making it look like a Universal Century version of the Barbatos, or taking like the Shinanju, which is a UC design, and making it look like a Gundam Age version of the Shinanju. So one thing that I think you guys will see here, and what definitely separated some of the top entries from the winning entries, were the couple of the ones here that really stayed true to that, rather than making like a Shinanju and making it look like a 00 Gundam, or taking a Tallgeese and making it look like an RX-78-2. That was not really the theme, although there was some really good entries here that did do that, and that was kind of okay. So the thing was, I didn't want you guys to rely too much on color scheme and specific designs that were making one Gundam look like a totally different Gundam from a different universe. We did have some really good entries that did that, though. So there's a couple of runners-up that I do want to mention specifically, but first off, here's a couple of the runners-up that were really, really nicely done. But all right, now, like I said, now before we get to the winners, there's a couple of runners-up that I do just want to kind of talk about here briefly, because they were very close to winning, so I just want to give these guys a proper shout-out. Number one here, it was from Ricardo, where he took the Zoart Heavy and really leaned into the heavy aspect of the name here, making it look like the EZ-8, adding some armaments there, as well as the backpack and additional armaments up there on the back that were some of them from the EZ-8, or the ground Gundam in particular, and then like something like the chain gun, the the missile launcher there on the back, some just kind of added accessories there to really make it very heavy, but obviously has the Easy 8 color scheme, some Easy 8 design aesthetics there, asymmetry in the chest, the knee like bumps that are normally on the knee of the Easy 8 are kind of up there around the like thigh section. So there was a lot of really great details in here that I really liked. Some nice weathering on this one as well. It was nicely painted, nicely presented here with some nice photography on that. So this is one that we definitely liked and talked about quite a bit. Another one here was also from Ariel. You guys may know him as AO Mecha. He did a really great job here on this one, taking the Lafrith Ur, which in itself is an already like pretty UC looking design just in how blocky and angular it is. So that was another thing to keep in mind for you guys that entered, was the kit that you start off with, because there's certain kits that you start with that's certainly going to make it easier or more difficult for you to kind of go along with the theme of this one. But in this case, he did a really great job on this one, obviously applying a lot of the color scheme and design aesthetics from the gun cannon in particular. So it made it look like a gun cannon version of the Lafrith, and it's a really well done entry, and I do really like how this one is presented as well. Nice photography, nice painting, nice decal work and everything on that. So both of these guys did a fantastic job. Didn't quite make it to the winning top 3 entries, but I just wanted to make sure to give them a special shout out as well. Now, as we get into the winners here, another big shout out obviously has to be made here to USA Gundam Store, who made the entire contest possible and who the majority of the prizes are coming from. So all the prizes, as we talked about in the announcement video, we have 3 different prize packs that are all coming from us here at USA Gundam Store. We do also have a special prize, which is donated by Patrick. So huge thank you to Patrick, who donated an MGEX Strike Freedom Gundam for the winner as well. So that'll be going to the first place winner. The first place winner will get first pick out of the 3 prize packs. Second place winner will get second pick. Third place winner will get the third remaining prize packs. So a lot of stuff that's going to be going out here to the winners. Let's talk about third place is going to none other than Eric, who here made a Strike Gundam in the style of a UC Gundam. In particular, it's very much styled after the Gundam 7th, not the full armor Gundam 7th as we know it in kit form. There is not full armored, how would you call it? A not full armored version of the Gundam 7th. Here it was where he was taking a lot of design cues. In particular, we really liked the modifications on this one. Really nice, clean work on this. Fantastic work with the colors, the decals, and everything on this. And it still looks like the Strike Gundam. That was the important thing, is that it should still retain the look of the original Gundam. It still very much looks like the Strike Gundam, but obviously all of the added details and modifications and markings on it do help to make it look like a UC version of the Strike Gundam. We really liked some of the details, like adding the circular joint covers at the knees and elbows, adding some of the blocky design elements around on the shoulders and the heads. So a lot of really nice modification to this. I really like the reshaped, redesigned beam rifle there as well for this. So fantastic job here from Eric, who's going to be taking third place here in our contest. And then our second and first place entries were the best ones that really held true to the contest theme here, as you can see. So number 1 was the first one we're going to talk about. The second place in the contest here is going to be from Victor here, who reimagined the Kshatriya, obviously in kind of Iron Blooded Orphans universe. So it still very much retains the look of looking like the Kshatriya, from the color scheme to some very recognizable parts of the Kshatriya, but also adds in some elements of the Iron Blooded Orphans universe by having some more of the exposed joint areas, especially in the torso. Of course, that was something a lot of people did for their entries, having that exposed torso frame there to give it an Iron Blooded Orphans look. But then in the ankle joints, elbow joints, also swapping out the backpack, or the Kshatriya doesn't really have much of a backpack really, but giving it the backpack here and the sword, giving it a physical weapon, obviously very much something that we see a lot of in Iron Blooded Orphans. And then still retaining even the binders as well, but modifying those into these big shoulder pauldrons. Very much kind of, the silhouette of this really reminds me a lot of the Helmut Renkar design from Iron Blooded Orphans. So certainly very reminiscent of that. Some nice painting on this and some nice weathering on it. I think when you get into the details, some of the detail painting, some of the weathering could have been a little bit cleaner. I think the stance of it, the pose is a little bit unnatural. I think that could have also been adjusted maybe a little bit as well. But we really liked this entry as a second place, and as the first place winner then for the entire contest is going to go to Mr. Adaris here with his reimagined Leo. as a Universal Century version of the Leo. Now, obviously taking a lot of design cues there from the Zaku, but still very much retaining the look of the Leo here. He's added the Zaku shield, but it's kind of like to the back. It's not really in the normal position where you would have it for a Zaku, and it's just sort of an added element there towards the backside of it. He's obviously switched out the skirt armor for the Zaku skirt armor, but again, it blends really, really well with the Leo design here. And one thing that I really love in particular was the fusing of the ankle armor with the lower leg to give it these legs, which are sort of like a slim version of a Dom's lower legs, I guess, in a way. So a lot of really familiar elements, not only from the Zaku, but just also the color scheme. The markings remind me of a very like MSV Dom kind of styling to it. So it does have that look of a One Year War Xeon MSV mobile suit here. That's very nice. And then the painting and presentation of this, the decal work, the painting, really nice pre-shading on this. It's super clean. The markings on it, those like MSV style markings, the stripes, the yellow and red striping bits they have on there are really nicely done. Very clean, really nice presentation on this. And again, with just keeping in theme with the contest, it still looks like a Leo, and it looks like a Universal Century version of the Leo, which I think Adaris here did a fantastic job of the execution for this kit, and well deserving of first place. So really happy with the results for this contest. And at the end of this video, make sure you guys stay tuned. I'll have a montage of all of the entries. You guys can check those out, and you should check those out. I highly recommend it because I showed you some runners up, I showed you the winners obviously, but there were a lot of other great entries as well. So make sure to check that out. And again, a big thank you to USA Gundam Store for making it all possible. To the guest judges, David and Ryan, thank you guys so much. I'll have links to their social media down in the video description as well. If you guys are unfamiliar with them, check out their work because they're both, very highly qualified and fantastic builders in their own right, and so they made great guest judges here for this contest. And also a big thank you to Patrick as well for the prize donation, and of course thank you to all of you guys who entered. If you guys did plan to enter, you're working on an entry and you didn't quite make it in time, I hope that you will share your finished entries if and when you do get around to finishing those. For everybody who did finish, fantastic work. Thank you guys so much for your participation. That's what makes these contests so fun, is having a lot of participants, having a lot of people entering. Love to see all the creativity from all of you guys in this one. Like I said, it was a challenging contest. The next one will certainly not be quite so challenging. It'll be a lot more wide open for you guys. So we'll talk more about that soon. Probably the beginning of January, I'll have the announcement for you. It's already kind of pretty much mostly all planned out, so we can get right into the next contest here pretty soon. I'll let you guys know about that at the beginning of January. But for now, thank you guys so much. I hope that you all had a great time with this contest and the other contests that we've had this year. 2023, I think we saw some of the best works in terms of just like entries that I've seen in contests that I've run. I can definitely tell that like as the years go by, just the quality of the entries is definitely going up. So it's really awesome to see. I'm glad that so many of you guys are choosing to participate and join in. It's awesome. So thank you guys so much. Check out the montage of all the entries and just give yourselves all a big pat on the back. Those of you guys who entered, thank you. And I'll see you guys soon.